Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. I'm your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, a human fighter from an asteroid called Recab's Wedge.
Hi everyone, I'm Dakami-sama, and I play Solas of Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hello everyone, I'm Salem Mortar. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hi, I'm Levalithana Seshasa, an elven wild mage, and she doesn't know from where she is.
From space. Hey, I'm Zakat. I play Lafdul Moonglade, an elven specialty priest thief from Realm Space. He knows where he's from. Or at least he believes he does, unless his parents have been lying to him all his entire life. His gimmick is coming up with fun titles, and I'm already struggling on this one. The Conscientiously Conceited Carving Contender is his current title.
Yeah,
So
you
I shall type that in then.
didn't mess that one up at all.
Oh, thank you.
Does that mean that Lafdul will have a really bad luck on this session?
Don't you jinx it, you scholarly, no skill bookworm.
Somebody has to jinx you since you keep jinxing us.
Wow.
She's got a point.
Also, I've been noticing that whenever Lafdul actually messes up the title, he seems to have better luck in the session.
Really? I hope that's not true.
Free rolls.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Alright, so, you can give any player or I, the Dungeon Master, a reroll with 500 bits, and currently, Braxon has one, Finn has one, Ockar has one, and he will be showing up shortly. He's just running a little late. Lafdul has two, Leva has one, Solas has one, and I, the Dungeon Master, have two. So we left...
That's one too many.
Yeah, you're right. You do have one too many. Let me go ahead and transfer that over to me.
No. The DM should never have more than one, or actually 0. I think 0 is the ideal number of free rolls for you.
I don't think so.
Can people donate negative rerolls to you, Ord?
No. My rerolls are the best rerolls. They're useful for NPCs who can save your butts at times. So you should give me.
That's not why you
more
want
rerolls.
them. You want them because they're useful for your monsters.
That's true. Yes, they are at that. And they can be very useful for avoiding the worst things that you mean terrible players dish out against my poor innocent monsters. Anyway, we left off last time. The party had returned to orbit around Krokaroth and the Elven Crown Base, which was the Eyrie of Airdrie. As you approach it, a ship comes out to greet you. Recognizing you, they guide you into dock, and you are greeted once again by your contact, Lieutenant Erlor Velitha. She welcomes you back, inquires after your trip to Erekal and whether you had any difficulties on the trip. Just kind of wants to see how everything went.
Braxon, I'll give her a brief rundown of roughly what we did. Well, what he knows we did.
All right. So you will have the rest of the day to rest and relax, and I should also mention on the trip back, another pay period has passed. So that's another payment for the crew due.
Right.
And she speaks with you, Braxon, to begin organizing, delivery of your basic supplies. So that will take you up to your ship's normal maximum capacity for food and water.
Yeah, I want to buy some more over that, but I'm trying to remember how much we bought last time because I got talked down last time.
It won't
Can
matter
I-
because we'll just go to our max, so normal max.
No, but
Yeah,
if
but
you
I
want
wanna
more,
buy-
so
buy
Oh
over
right,
there.
yeah.
so you won't be able to buy it here, but there are 2 moons of Krokoroth, and one of them does have, like you're actually orbiting one of the moons. The other moon has colonies of elves and Aarakocra and such, so you can take a quick stop there to get extra supplies
Yeah.
before leaving.
Sounds silly, but does Blessed Abundance allow me to duplicate harvested food,
I'd have to
like
look at it.
fruit, vegetables? It says animal, vegetable matter, like plants and stuff, but I assume food stuffs can be magically duplicated.
Yeah.
So I would offer to do this for our vegetable stuff, so that would make things a bit easier. Maybe, I don't know. I'd imagine some of our stuff's all going to be dried, so
Yeah, I mean, you
whatever we
gotta.
end up buying,
There'd
we
be a
can-
lot of grain and flour, so
Yeah.
for bread making and for like
so useful in the flow.
gruel making. Well, I mean, you can also use it to
Yeah.
make like porridge and gruel and stuff like that, like cold stuff.
And Finn can cast Slow Rot a few times, so.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm just thinking we rescued that ship before and we really
I need like a cooking spell. I know there's items that do that in later. I don't know if it's a thing in 2nd edition, where you can like put ingredients and put it into like a pouch and it like cooks it and take it out, and it's like a cooked object. It just transmutes it into.
just as a
equal
quick
combo.
note, Blessed Abundance does not work in the flow.
Ooh, nice.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a conjuration.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I will do it before we get to the flow.
Let's see. One cubic foot of material per experience level. All right.
9 cubic feet.
I'd have to think about what that would be in terms of the actual
mean,
amount that would be.
Would you be willing to do this with me, Solas? Because you've got access to this as well.
Which spell?
Blessed Abundance in Creation Sphere Major. 5th.
What level spell?
5th. Can you hear me? Like quiet?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
You're good on my end. But I have turned you up a bit, so.
Yeah, I had to turn him up a bit also.
Sorry. Obviously it's down because my table makes creaking sounds, so I try
No,
to
it's fine.
get rid of that.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you guys can work on doing that. I don't actually have.
When we buy feed, is it a ton like a cubic feet, or is there some?
Yeah,
Is it
but
like
I don't.
condensed
I mean,
down,
I don't like your ship has storage space for up to its maximum normal amount, 4 months for a full crew, without needing to cut into cargo space. But like, it's not well detailed on how much that actually is in terms of like.
I know
cubic
it doesn't
feet.
say it here, but I assume there's going to be, you would probably impose some kind of like no cloning of a clone. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so you can only like clone the original or something for terms of, you know.
I mean,
like,
I don't think that there's a problem with that here. It's
Alright.
it's not an issue.
Alright.
I'll give it some thought. Anyway, so that aside, that's going to be like the rest of the day getting your the supplies in order. She will also inform you that the tribunal will be convened the next day for Red Njord. They have gotten that all set up, and she asks each of you whether there's anything that anyone wants to say in particular, like who wants to essentially testify. They may come back and say that they need someone in particular to testify, but if anyone in particular wants to say something, she wants to know.
I would probably at some point would offer my testimony in that from my memory read of the events that I learned, and the fact that I've still got Levalithana's holy symbol on my character is probably not the best idea, but no, I'd say I would testify that that I knew of the priesthood who tortured Linelia, so that she was a priestess of Levalithana, and obviously being the Maiden of Pain, it's very hard to resist her torturing methods by her priesthood.
Okay. And so she'll also ask if you have any particular evidence that you wish to
I'll
present. So that
bring out the holy symbol I've still got on my character, so I'd offer that up.
All right. Ockar?
Oh, what?
She's asking if you, if any members of the party want to make statements, testimony at the tribunal for Red Njord.
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay, and also any evidence that you want to present.
Would they collect the evidence?
Some of it, but I mean, like, anything in addition that you want to present. Like, I don't know if you personally kept anything.
The only thing I can think of is that sword, but it wasn't Red Njord that took it, so I don't think they count.
Okay.
I mean, it would work as evidence against his whole crew.
Yeah.
Is there, like, if it's a family weapon that you're obviously retrieving for your uncle? Is it grandfather?
No,
Would it have engravings of his name or something on there?
Well, no. Another member of the crew stole... basically, one of Red Njord's friends stole a weapon from his father, and I was just returning it to him in Brawl.
And you can testify.
Yeah, that would be evidence.
Yeah, that would still be evidence, especially if it had like a name or something engraved.
Yeah, if it has like any engravings on it.
Well, yeah, I mean
it's a family sword, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a family sword. It's not super duper unique kind of thing, but no, it's still worthwhile.
Braxon will ask Linnaeus if we need to mention the special elven spelljamming helm.
Yeah, I mean this is going to be done in a secure environment, so any and all evidence will be presented. If they are going to be talking about something that you guys shouldn't know about, that you don't know about, then you will be escorted out of the room for that. But
yeah.
I think we would have mentioned about the helm to them already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Linnaeus
would
have.
The helm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we gave them back the helm.
And we didn't give the helm back since it's not their property, but the property of Elven Imperial Navy in the Grey Space.
Yeah.
And we are delivering it to them.
Yeah, you guys still are still holding on to it for now.
Yeah, they figured it might be useful for us on our journey back or something.
Well, if Linnaeus asked to hand it over, we'd have to. We'd have to do it.
Yeah,
it's
well,
kind of his.
Not contesting.
Yeah, it's essentially in Linnaeus' custody at the moment.
Yeah.
And Linnaeus is traveling with us at the moment.
Well, he's got to get back home.
Yeah, we're taking him either home or to somewhere where he can get home. It'd be nicer for us to drop him home if it's on the way.
Does anyone
not
else
too
have
much about that,
anything
really.
in particular that they want? Like, you don't need to
Solas
tell
has no-
me
I
what
will
what
be-
you want to say, but if you specifically want to like make a statement or offer testimony, that's what
Solas
the
is
question
willing
is.
to recount his perspective of the whole how the capturing them went down, but he doesn't have anything other to offer really.
Okay.
I will mention. I only know so much about Targok. He was the Skrull, but I don't know him as a Skrull. Would we have been told he was a Skrull?
You don't know anything about Skrull.
An orc.
Yeah.
Base orc. Yeah, and so I will be detailing that. Obviously, he had a ring that allowed him to teleport.
All right.
And I will ask if they've ever heard of such an item. I definitely want one of those. I know what it is out of game, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Braxon doesn't especially want to talk, but he'd be willing to testify and answer questions if they wanted to. It'd be
don't
more
want to
likely. Does especially want to, but he'd be willing to talk. Partly because I can't remember what we did.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of us probably can. I'm just remembering footnotes and stuff.
But Braxon would be willing to talk about the person we had to rescue because they were left for dead, and how this was just one of many crimes that Red Newell conducted, and say what he remembers about the people that Red Newell recruited to work with him.
Okay. All right. So the next day, Lieutenant Errolor comes to your ship, indicating that it is now time for the tribunal.
Will we going in civilian attire, as a manner of speaking, no equipment, no stuff, or is it just no weapons, basically?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically
Behave
expected
yourself.
to not have any, like, obvious items. So, like, you wouldn't be coming with wands. You could wear rings. You could wear things that count as clothing, like bracers or...
Am I
you know.
allowed to wear my elven chainmail? Just out of curiosity.
So, elven mail can very easily be concealed under
Yeah,
clothing,
that's-
so yes, you can wear that.
But they're familiar with it, so I'm wondering if they would notice. They probably would, but they probably wouldn't.
They might, but it's also
complain.
very, like, it's very easy to hide. And yours is also silenced, so it doesn't even make the normal...
Chinking.
Yeah, so... Which is even, pretty quiet for elven mail.
Yeah, I don't think
Anyway.
Braxton will go tooled up. He will take off his belt that makes him a bit better at stuff, but more irritating.
Are the reaction adjustments for
Yeah.
non-dwarves?
Yeah.
Solas will be basically going on a full official clerical garb, because this is very serious business.
Yeah, I probably would have something like that around. I don't wear it very often. Because Eravanian priests are more practical than formal. It doesn't mean they can't have it, it's just kind of like... It's more of a ceremony kind of thing whenever you do decide to use it.
So you're going in as a jester, gotcha.
Most of my ornate stuff would all be in black anyway, so...
Finn,
it's very
how about you?
practical.
Finn will probably put on his displacer hide cloak
Okay.
that he saves for
Fancy.
formal occasions.
All right. Leva, how about you?
Well, Leva has no weapons.
I mean, like, don't you have a staff?
You are a weapon.
Yes, I can't put myself down.
I mean, you can, but...
You put some tape or a glue around their mouth.
Yeah, it's sort of like that, or around the hands.
You're taking your necklace of ESP.
No. You can put yourself down. Oh, man, I'm so terrible. I'm bad at everything.
Well, you could carry me around. I'd lie down, and they could carry me around. How about that?
Leva wants her litter.
Okay, and Ockar, how about you?
Well, I do have to take one weapon. I have to take that evidence weapon.
Yeah.
So
But you won't
I'm
be.
just
You
gonna.
wouldn't be wearing it.
Yeah. Should I peace tie it or?
Just
Okay.
leave
Just
it.
carry
Just
it
leave it
under
in the
your arm or something.
in the scabbard. That's fine.
Okay. Otherwise, I'll just go in casual clothing.
Okay. All right. So you
Yeah,
are.
I've got.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I've got daggers in my pouch of accessibility if I need to. So.
All right. So you are all conducted to a room very similar to the one you were in before, where you met the admiral and the vice admirals and stuff like that. And there are some tables set up with some uniformed elven officers. Red Njord is sitting at one of them, and he is manacled very tightly.
Mithril.
Sorry?
They Mithril. I'm just
Probably
wondering.
not.
Oh. I want to get some Mithril manacles.
You'd probably have to commission them. There is a table, a long table at one end of the room with 5 high-ranking elven officers, some of whom you recognize from, when you were essentially debriefed upon your first arrival. And then there are some seats that are available for you. And Lenelius is already here as well. The proceedings start off with what is clearly a kind of a formulaic reciting of, why the tribunal is being convened. And this is all spoken in Elvish. So for those of you who do not speak Elvish, you will be a little bit lost. But after the the formulaic introduction is done. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Braxon will be wearing his ring. He does speak Elvish, but he'll be wearing his ring just in case.
Okay.
I think we all
Anyone
speak
says-
Elvish.
I don't know if you do.
Well,
I
Level was the
don't
only
keep track of all the languages you guys speak. I know some of them, especially when they're odder ones like Braxon knowing Tinker now. But I threw that out there so that you can roleplay how you want. However, after the kind of formulaic opening statements are done, they switch to common, and specifically by saying, for the benefit of the defendant. Then there is a list of charges, and based on everything that you and Lenelius have shared with them, it's a lengthy list of charges for piracy, attacking Elven Imperial facilities, theft of Elven Imperial property, and there's a number of charges for relating to theft of highly secret Elven property and divulging of that, and consorting with the enemy. At that, a question is directed at the advocate for Red Njord for a determination of whether he pleads guilty or not guilty. Before the advocate, the advocate is like standing up to make a statement, and Red Njord calls out, "You've already decided what it's going to be anyway, so just get it over with." Which the elves all shoot him a look, and He's told to be quiet, at which point the advocate puts in a plea of not guilty. So the next bit is the arguments by each side for why it is, why the plea of not guilty is being put in, and for the prosecution, essentially the statement about the rundown of the charges and details about them. The advocate for Red Njord is indicating not guilty on grounds of hearsay, that these events are fabricated, unreliable witnesses, and there is no concrete evidence. It's a whole list of arguments along that line, essentially boiling down to the fact that this happened in another sphere, that the elves here don't even know truly exists. It's depending on a group of vagabonds from outside the sphere, and an elf who claims to be a member of the Imperial Navy, but there's no solid evidence of that, and things of that nature.
Do I not have any credibility being a priest of Seldarin when I swear that I say the truth?
I mean, they got to make an argument in his favor in some way.
I mean, considering the fact that your god is the mischief god, I think that puts a point out of your favor as well.
Yeah.
Maybe. I suppose.
I mean, Erevan's priests aren't exactly known for truth-telling. Lenelius is called up first, and he recounts the events of the attack on his base in Gray Space. You can definitely tell that there are elements that are being specifically left out.
Stuff that I would reckon, at least some of the parts at the start from the memory read that I got on the base and the attack and what happened.
Yeah, but I mean, there's details that are clearly being left out for, that you would guess, for security purposes.
Yeah.
And things of that nature.
I was just wondering if I could fill in some of the blanks in my own head.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to.
Right.
I don't even remember what I told you specifically about the attack. So maybe, yeah. But it's also essentially a quick summary, and then he recounts his experiences under, in captivity by Red Njord, and what he knew and heard, which once he was captured, there's quite a bit that he's unaware of. And once he is done, they call up you, Braxon, to recount what you know as captain of the Company of the Broken Sword.
Okay, well, Braxon will say how Ockar sent us on the quest, and when we arrived in Kryn Space, we'd heard that there were ships being attacked and being destroyed, and we heard of a ship that was overdue and presumed lost, and were able to obtain a mundane item belonging to someone on that ship and use a magical device to rescue some people that Red Njord had left for dead. And he'd say roughly what he remembered about that officer and his wife, and say, and this is what Red Njord denied to countless, well, not countless, but many other people with the other ships he destroyed. He'd say roughly how many ships we've heard that Red Njord had destroyed before we got there.
Okay.
Which I don't know if Braxon. Well, I don't know if I knew that, but I presume Braxon would know that.
Yeah, I mean, there's like you recount the ones that you know were ones that
Yeah.
he attacked, either from like people were rescued or there was some
Yeah.
other knowledge.
And Braxon would say that it took us and 2 other groups to take Red Mule down and to liberate the stolen stuff, including the elven property, and that one of Red Mule's associates got away, and there was some sort of spell cast on us, possibly by this associate, and the what were those things? They were those suits.
Spirit Warriors.
Spirit Warriors.
Spirit Warrior, yeah, Spirit Warriors. Spirit Warrior suits on a barge got sucked away from us, and we got thrown across the multiverse.
Cosmic Storm. We've heard legends of them,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah. So we don't know what happened to those. They may be in enemy hands. When we get back, we're going to help Lenalius get a message to his people.
We did ask the Star Knights if they had a quick look around, and they said they couldn't find them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, Braxton would say that if he remembered.
Well,
So,
if it ever went to him.
once you're done, the advocate for Red and Yord will start asking you questions, trying to pick apart, some of what you were asking about, you were talking about, like, how do you know that Red and Yord was the culprit behind the pirate attack that you rescued some crew members from? Like, what evidence do you have that you can present to the council that he was involved?
Well, Lenalius' evidence that he was guilty of attacking the Elven base as he was in Lenalius was in his care or abuse, and the injuries that have been done to Lenalius, I believe, were done by Red Newald and his associates. The crewmen that we rescued and the people that were with him described where he was, and we were able to track him down from that information. So that's undoubtedly associated with him. Other ships we didn't see. It's possible there are other pirates, so you could argue that not everything we've been told he has done, but he has a method of working where he kills people. So there would have to be a very, very similar pirate rather than one that just takes people's stuff and leaves them alone.
Well, the advocate then says, many pirates are known for killing those that they attack. But how do you know that that particular ship that you rescued some people, you say you rescued some people from, was attacked by my client, by the defendant? What evidence can you present that it was he responsible rather than someone else, another pirate?
As an aside, did Lafdul do the mind reading on?
Yeah, I saw the
Braxon,
attacks.
Yeah, Braxon will mention that Lafdul used spells to communicate with the minds of some of the victims and see what would happen. So he can give you information on that when he testifies.
So you are relying on the unreliable testimony of a known follower of a lying, deceitful deity. Fair enough. I have no questions. He then
raises an eyebrows at that. Half the party are quite amused, though.
So you can return to your seat, and they call up Lafdul. So first, you're expected to recount basically everything that you know.
Does he have to swear on something that he'll tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear by the Seldarin, I'm held at their mercy, should I lie?
There is kind of a swearing in ceremony. I haven't really given much thought to how they would do it with non-elves. For Lafdul, it would be sworn on the swearing by Corellin kind of thing.
No
Yeah,
doubt
he's the
Braxon
chief
would swear on a piece of wood.
yeah. So yeah, no, Lafdul would collaborate Braxton's story, and I will mention that I am granted magics that allow me to read the memories of people. It's not always guaranteed to work, but if the person is willing, I can relive experiences as they saw it. So I saw the experiences of the crew as they were attacked, and I will describe some of the details of how they were attacked.
As you're about to describe that, the advocate for Red Njord objects that there's no way to verify the information that you're presenting in this case. The admirals, or the high-ranking elves on the tribunal, converse quietly, and then they agree that there is no way to verify that information that you, one, were able to use magic like that and get this information, and that it is true. So they do direct you to share only the information that you personally.
I will mention this then. If I mention, obviously, I would have to ask my party members to leave the room, because the information I would share with you, there is no way I would know this unless I had access to these memories. But obviously, for security reasons, I can't mention it in front of my companions. But I could prove to you that I do have access, this ability to read people's memories, because it would be impossible for me to otherwise know this.
The elves consult with each other for a little bit longer this time. It's more than just a few minutes. They're speaking very quietly, and you can't pick up exactly what.
Reiterate the gray space.
Yeah, no, they're debating whether this could be verified and stuff like that. And after about 20 minutes of discussion, very quietly, so that you can't you can't hear what they're saying.
Are they intentionally so? I've got good listening.
They're intentionally being very quiet.
Skilled practitioners of the quiet whisper.
So after that, they agree that this to hear what you have to say privately. So basically, everyone is escorted out except for the you, all the elves in charge of the proceeding.
All right, so I will reiterate the events of Red Njord when one of my spells actually worked on him. The events 8 hours from the start of the attack, and I will reiterate how they got the passwords, party members, their plan of attack, how their defenses were overwhelmed. They seemed to know exactly what they were going for, and they had information. And I believe Targok gave them this information, I believe. The Orc gave Red Njord this information.
Okay.
Because that was his initial goal, was to get the spirit wires. He wanted to reverse engineer it, so I assume there was some kind of collaboration between them. Basically, I tell them information that I should have no idea or shouldn't even know.
All right.
In quite good detail. A few months old, but yeah.
So that will take a fair bit of time to recount everything. But after that, they bring everyone back in and indicate that they are reversing their ruling and allowing you to share what you have gained through memory read magic.
All right, so I will reiterate the how the crew was attacked and how some of them survived, and how did I connect the dots with it being the female wizard? Was she the cruel one that liked seeing people suffer with like the acid? Did that seem to match up, or was that someone else in the end? Yeah, well, that was one of the events. There was a particularly cruel
I'm not
wizard.
sure you were able to put together who that was.
Who did that?
Yeah.
All right, but yeah.
'Cause there's a number of
so,
characters
yeah, no.
that you don't really know very much about that were in his crew.
All right, so I just detail as best I can of what happened, and obviously that gave us more clues to go on.
Okay.
And we obviously headed over to is it Mage or somewhere? I mean,
the
organized with local good communities to, you know.
which world are you talking about? The rocky dwarven world? That was Reorcs.
Yeah, that was that ended up being like our base of operations because I'm good at getting information from the locals, shall we say?
All right. Okay. So they the advocate for Red Njord attempts to pick apart what you've said, but isn't able to do too much because essentially, like he was trying to, he was clearly going to try and portray you as unreliable, but with the information that you provided, that kind of changes the like he can't really portray you as unreliable anymore because of what they were able, what you were able to verify and what the tribunal accepted as testimony. Then
And that,
Mhm.
yeah. I was just going to say that obviously it gave us leads to what was it? We went to some of the should we say the shady places, you know, where we had to skulk and infiltrate and do our own investigations there that eventually led us onto that foresty world that we eventually learned that was his base.
By that shady world, do you mean that moon where you
The
had
two
a
moons.
nice little nap on the moss?
Oh yeah, that vampiric moss that killed me. Yeah.
All right. So then you are, after you've given your testimony, you are dismissed back to your seat. And Ockar, you are called up.
Okay. Well, when I get up there, I will introduce myself by telling them my relation to the accused, so that they know that he is my cousin, and how that may potentially flavor some things, but I'm willing to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, on my honor and to my devotion to Tyr, the god of justice and war of our culture.
All right.
And I will. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'll start by explaining, like, starting with character witness of Red Njord before his piracy, of how he was basically the local bully with his crew, with his starting crew, attacking and messing with people back on Brawl, and how one day him and his starting crew had basically stowed away on a merchant vessel to leave Brawl and start off their piracy work. I had dedicated myself to trying to track them down, especially since one of the crew members had literally stolen from his own father. The crew member Holgang stole his father Grandal's sword and armor. I present the sword, which I had recovered when I had finally tracked them down. I'd spent years trying to track them down until I eventually joined the Company of the Broken Sword and was able to, through listening at the bar, I had learned that he had been causing troubles in friend space. I decided to check to see if there was a warrant for him or a bounty for him with the Elven Navy to collaborate this, and when I did, I convinced my group that we should travel to Kryn space to track him down. I made it my personal mission to find him and bring him to justice. I could not let him and his actions bring shame upon our family name any longer. And I will explain from there everything that happened to Kryn space in as much detail as I physically can, including, I believe I fought him in the Spirit Warrior as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll explain how I personally engaged him as he piloted the Spirit Warrior and took him down, and everything from there too.
Okay.
I go into incredible detail of everything because I recorded things in my own journal.
Right. All right. So after that testimony, Red Njord's advocate comes to you and says, "Isn't it true that you've always hated your cousin here, and that you've always had a vendetta against him, wanted to bring him down, jealous of him?"
I've never hated my cousin. I only wanted to bring honor back to our family when he left. I had tried my best as a child to try to curb his baser natures against others, but I was younger, so I was not as successful as I would hope.
So he then turns to the admirals and says, "I submit that Ockar here, in fact, did hate his cousin and always had it out for him, and it was his doing that forced Red Njord into fleeing Brawl out of fear of his own life, wanting to escape a cruel bully."
I will tell you exactly why he left. He left because he was not willing to follow in the path of his father. His father wished for him to become a cleric of the Allfather Odin, the lead deity of our pantheon. But he did not wish to be trapped within the clerical nature and decided that he would instead use the skills that he learned to harm others, which is what I have been told and what I have seen firsthand.
Indeed, indeed. This is exactly what a young man who does not wish to be shackled by his family's requirements might do in the face of a bully cousin. I have nothing further. And he sits back down.
I would like to mention one more thing.
Sure, real fast. If there's gonna be like, they're gonna ask you again as his cousin, like at the end, like once they've decided to make a statement about like.
Yeah. I did want to mention him worshiping Loki, though.
Okay. Yep.
Loki, who's considered a friend of Odin, but also the chief deity of evil. And I would also present, like, if we had found a holy symbol on him, I would present that too.
I don't think you did. I don't think he had a holy symbol. because he's not.
Yeah,
a
but
priest.
I would at least mention how we had
Mhm.
discovered that he was also worshiping Loki, the god of mischief, strife, and fire from my religion, who is considered to be the chief evil deity, despite his associations of working with the other gods.
Yeah, he's. You'd probably describe him as like a notorious troublemaker, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd mentioned that he's chaotic evil, but he still helps.
Well, you'd probably like you could. There's nothing wrong with not saying that kind of thing, and you wouldn't be able to really talk about alignment. But you would say that he is a troublemaker, notorious for causing strife amongst, you know,
Amongst the Norse deities.
and amongst mortals and stuff like that.
Yeah, and his followers tend to follow in their patron's example.
Okay. So you are then dismissed and can return to your seat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Lafdul?
I don't know if this should be mentioned when it goes on to the because I want to mention something about Levalithana and all that, but would I mention that when Regnar's companion wizard or the others get mentioned, or would I have mentioned that earlier?
You would have mentioned that
Should
earlier.
I?
If you wanna do a retcon and some added information.
Yeah, retcon a little bit. Only that I would obviously Red Guild. I will mention obviously the holy symbol of priestess of Lobatar, obviously being the maiden of pain. Very, very few people could ever hope to withstand that.
Okay.
Maybe some follower of Ilmarta who endures pain, but most of us cannot hope to bear their torture. I mean, his injuries speak for himself, although he is a bit better than he was previously, which I do mention that I asked Aravan to I go into detail about her neck spear in the grav spear, and that how we got a device that
So-
effectively allowed us to bend fate.
You would have been like as you were talking about that the advocate for Red Njord would have objected that this is what you did for Linelius is irrelevant is essentially,
Yeah.
and that would have been the
It's
and
because
the elves on the tribunal would have agreed and
all right.
like you can
it was just
essentially talking about what was done to Linelius is acceptable
and
in the confines of this tribunal.
That's fair.
Talking about other things that you did to help Linelius, it's like
All right.
immaterial, essentially.
No, I mean if
From a
he
legal
starts
point
if he starts trying to pick apart what Linnaeus doesn't look that bad. Well, actually, no, that's because I intervened, and that's my God to help him,
All right.
basically.
Okay. Solas, you would then be asked up because you said that you had something you put in the chat that you wanted to say something.
Yeah, Solas would tell what he discovered during the his memories of the fight and what he discovered from in Hrolgang's quarters, the trophies of numerous vessels that they had attacked,
All right.
providing detailed descriptions and copies of the heraldry.
Okay. So the advocate will then come back and say, but you don't actually know that these were taken as trophies from ships. They could have been copies. They could have been purchased. How do you he's trying to pick apart your statement. What would you respond to that?
You rarely get battered shields and such as copies for trophies.
But they
You
could have
take
been
those
purchased.
usually
You would
from
say.
what?
But they could have been purchased.
Very unlikely. I have never seen these things battered heraldric shields being sold or purchased in such quantities.
So he then turns back to the tribunal and says, I submit that this is not evidence of anything in particular. It is hearsay, and there's no way to verify the origin of these items, and then we'll sit back down. Yeah, Lafdul, you can during your testimony you would have turned the holy symbol over.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I felt a bit awkward holding on to that.
Also, during the testimony, Solas is offering that his deity grants him power to basically transfer something that I've seen to the mind of Otter. So I can show the room for one person with that spell.
Yeah, the fact that it would only work for one person would...
Well, one person at a time.
How many of those spells do you have?
One for today, but I could take as many as 5 for tomorrow.
That wouldn't work. This is just a one-day tribunal. The advocate would object to that anyway because there would be no way to verify that everyone is truly seeing the same thing and everything like that. Okay. Do you have anything further to present?
Other than confirming other testimonies, no unique testimony from myself other than that.
All right, so they would also be asking for your, for confirmation and your perspective and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Finn.
Yeah, I would.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I would have told them what I witnessed during the fight, and also mentioning how Red Njord was piloting that insect thingy.
Okay. All right, Finn, you were called up.
Finn will make an offer to the court to open a window in time to view any event they choose, as it would relate to this case.
All right, so the tribunal, well, Red Njord's advocate would immediately object to strange magics being used while the admirals begin to discuss it. What spell are you thinking about?
Time pool.
All right, what's required for that?
Either a mirror or pool of water. Basically a reflective surface. And a pinch of powdered quartz.
Okay, and you have that spell memorized?
I do not, but I could show them the next day.
Ah, okay. Well, if you don't have it memorized, that's
Unless I would have planned that ahead, but
I imagine you might have if it was going to be.
I
your
imagine we
argument.
would have a discussion at some point and would have taken appropriate spells.
I could see that. I would imagine you would have if you were planning on doing this.
Give me a wisdom check.
If you want to use the reroll, I'd recommend it, just in case.
His wisdom's pretty high, though. It's like an 18.
that passes.
Okay, then yes, I will say that you would. And here's the difference between this spell and what Solas was presenting, is that it's not something that the entire, like, everyone could see at once kind of thing. And that's ultimately, like, that's where that this spell would be allowed and that one would not.
And that's also why I chose to make it any event the court wishes.
Yeah.
Because that way I can't have planned an illusion in advance.
Okay. Let me take a quick look. What level spell is that?
It is a 5th level spell from Tome of Magic.
Okay. Alright, only restriction is that it cannot be cast in Phlogiston, which is not where you are, so there we go. Alright. So they will ask to see the attack on, I think it was, what was that ship name?
Oh, that green thing. There's something green, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. And I am blanking on what I ended up calling it. But yeah, so they'll ask to see that event.
Okay.
The advocate will once again object, but the tribunal overrules and allows you to show that.
Okay. Would I be considered well informed about that event,
No, you would not.
or slightly informed?
Slightly informed.
Okay, then I have a 50, 65, 70% chance of getting it to show.
Okay, do you want
Are
high
you
or
gonna
low?
use a reroll?
I will re-roll that.
Oh, okay, then I'll let you roll. So below 70 will work, and there goes your reroll. Okay, excellent. 25 works. How long of a viewing do you have?
Let's see. It's 1 round per level, so 9 rounds.
Okay. So you're able to basically show the height of the attack on the ship. The Red Njord and his crew are already like boarding. You can pick out some of the individual officers, like Rolgang, Blother. But the most significant thing that is of particular interest is that you do see the Spirit Warrior slice through the mast with its sword. Don't actually
detail of the
see Njord in it, however.
Detail of the spell also gives the sounds.
Yeah, so you can hear shouting and commands and stuff like that. But it's also a melee, so like there's
It makes some sense for me.
Is Yogring in the scene using the same sword I presented?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep. How much ability do you have to manipulate what you're seeing? Is it like, can you zoom in on things? Is there any information about that?
It doesn't really say. It just says the image provides a perfectly clear picture with normal sounds, as if the caster were present at the scene.
Okay. So it would probably be like, it would probably be moving a bit so that you can see more than just like, it wouldn't just be like a single camera position kind of thing, but that would, it would still give a lot of information. That's a 5th level spell?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that that has a big impact on the tribunal. All right. Do you have any further? I mean, you would recount your perspective as well. They'd ask you to do so. Is there anything else in particular that you'd want to share?
Just my perspective of our taking Njord prisoner.
Okay.
What I had seen.
All right. All right. Leva, you would be called up.
Leva actually missed out on part of that. She wasn't present.
That's okay. I mean, like initially they'd just ask you to share your perspective on on the events as well, and then ask if you had any, and then if you had anything in particular that you wanted to share.
Well, the only thing she can do is support what the others have said already.
No, that's fine. Okay. All right.
You could collaborate the female wizard that she was a wizard and stuff like that. Because you had access to her spellbook and stuff. Whether or not you'd mention that, I don't know. But...
I don't. Well, she can say that, Leva can say that, but she doesn't really think that has anything to do with what we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, corroborating what everyone else has said is important. If you don't have any particular elements that you want to share or that you think are relevant, that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is the other accused here? Are they been already killed or something?
They
Like
have
the
already
dwarf?
been tried.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay. All right. The since they were not actually directly accused of having stolen the I mean, they were part of the group and part of but they didn't plan any of that. They didn't, at least according, so far as you were able to discover and share. Same thing with Linelius. They were just tag-alongs, essentially.
Question?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Red Njord in the end a tag-along as well with the other ones that we saw but never kept caught?
He was the leader of the group, and it was his choice to go through with that plan. It was his decision. He's the one that used the Spirit Warrior, and even if he hadn't been the one that used the Spirit Warrior, it as the captain of the group, unless they were trying to present that he was mind-controlled, which they didn't, and maybe that's something that they should have done, but the advocate should have done. The buck stops with him, so to speak, as the leader of the group. So, like, for example, if you guys were accused of piracy, Braxon would be the one who would get the highest charges as the captain.
Okay. Leva rubs her hands together, thinking, looks at Lafdul.
Braxon's already guilty.
So,
just because I'm in the company.
Given what you know, you think that a better argument on his part would have been that he was mind-controlled. So, given what's going on, you'd kind of guess that Red Njord was just, like, very incommunicative with his advocate. So,
it's not even trying.
Yeah. He was just doing whatever, like, the advocate's just like, what do I got to work with here? What do we know about these people? I guess that's what I go with, kind of thing. So,
makes sense.
So after all the testimony and evidence is presented, the tribunal takes a break to discuss everything, and you guys would be served, some lunch, very delicious elven meal, some nice elven wine to go with it, and after...
Tell you what, this wasn't the kind of meal that I got when I did my jury duty.
But we're not jury duty.
Awful.
We're not jury duty. We're witnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose there might be a difference.
So, then you are brought back in, and after about 2 hours, and the tribunal announces that they have reached a verdict. But before they read that off, they ask you, Ockar, as his cousin, if you have anything you want to say, any statements you want to make about what you would like to see justice-wise, because you are his cousin. If there's something that you want to do, like if there's a statement that you want to make.
I would prefer that he be made to serve time and work to attempt to redeem himself instead of being executed.
Okay.
I'd like to give him a chance to redeem himself and try to become a productive and better person in society than just to be killed.
Okay. The tribunal, the head of the tribunal nods and says, "We accept your statement. However, we have found him guilty of all charges. These are very serious charges, and as he has shown no remorse whatsoever, we have also been informed that he made no effort to work with his advocate to defend himself. That death is the appropriate punishment for these charges. The sentence will be carried out in 2 weeks' time."
If that is what you've decided, I will not argue it.
All right. So the verdict is read out, and he is Redniord is led away, still manacled, and they will, as they said, they will be carrying out the sentence in 2 weeks' time. They will tell you that is so that if he wants to have, like, if he has kind of a change of heart, it gives him time to do so, to, like, request mercy, throw himself on the mercy of the court, so to speak, and offer information or whatever to try to change that. But if not, then he will be executed in 2 weeks' time.
I imagine he questioned the corpse.
They might.
Very macabre of me, but it's perfunctory, I guess.
But that will also be after you guys have left. So it was essentially a long day, and you return to your ship to get rest. Lieutenant Erlor will inform you that the group of ships will be leaving tomorrow. Although she'll say that they'll wait a little bit if you need to go. If you wish to purchase additional supplies from one of the nearby moons.
Well, I wanted to get another 4 lots of food. I think that's 2,000 gold pieces of food.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anyone wants to argue about this.
Well, I mean, you can discuss what you want. I mean,
What do you mean argue? Like withdraw the staff? Don't have enough food, or how do you mean?
We've got a full lot of food. You guys can make water magically. You can't in the Flodgestone, but we shouldn't be stuck in the Flodgestone for.
You can
long.
make it in the flow.
You can.
The third level spell of create food and water allows to create food in Phlogiston.
Even the create water spell, it's just alteration.
Oh wait, there is one request I would like to make.
Okay.
Of the court. I would like a chance to talk to Redniord to see if I could convince him to accept mercy, and if not that, if he is to die, I would like him to die in a chance where he could die in battles, so that he could at least go to Valhalla.
Okay.
Why are you going to duel him?
So they they will let you talk to him, but they will tell you that they do not do like they would consider it cruel to have him fight to try to fight to the death for as an execution method.
Well, I would try to explain our culture how if you die with honor, you go to Valhalla, which is the warrior's paradise. And if you die through like an execution, you would be sent to hell, HEL, which is where like the sick and the dishonorable suffer for eternity.
So they would say, we understand your point of view, but what honor could he possibly have at this point?
I figured I'd at least give my cousin a chance.
Yeah. No, that's they like, and the way that they're putting this is as respectfully as possible. It's very much, we understand that, but his crimes were against us, and it is our punishment that he must meet. If and from their perspective, it's very much a, if this is going to affect his soul in the afterlife, well, he should have thought of that before he committed all these crimes.
I guess that makes sense. I just wanted to try the argument.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
But I'll at least attempt to talk to him and try to convince him to beg for mercy.
Yeah. So they'll give you some time in the evening to do so. Before we do that, however, you guys can organize out how much food you want to purchase. Braxon was saying 4 lots.
Yeah, we only get 3 lots before, but
What's a lot?
each lot is 2,400 man days of food.
How much crew do we
That's
have
a
at
lot.
the moment?
That is a lot, and that's what you said last time. You talked me down to 3 lots. But I'm thinking, what happens if we have to go through 2 crystal spheres where there's no food?
How many people are in the crew now?
Hang on.
Put it this way: how many man days of food do you use right now?
Yes, that's better.
Because GIF eat more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We still have GIF.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose GIF at some point?
We still have few squads of GIF.
I think you still have 5.
Did we lose the weapon master, or did he go with Higamus?
Well, the other question will maybe even simpler is how long will the 3 lots last for all of us? Just
Well,
sort of
don't forget, we've been topped up normally.
just how long would it last?
We
How many days?
Yeah. We use a total of
Isn't it the
20
value at the top?
There
Sorry.
should just be a number, because that's the basic number that you need to use.
We use 23 man days of food per day.
You do not use 23 man days of food.
No, it would be 75.5 man days of food, 77.5 water, and 74 man days of air. The total air, food, and water usage, it's on line 143. It's got also the total wages per month. Unless that's not updated, that should be right.
So if that's correct, then that's about a month.
So 1 lot is about 1 month.
We got 4 extra months, so we've got 8 months of food.
No, 143 is the old date. I've been remaking up the top. So
I said 75.
Oh, sorry, that was the Crew of the Starlight I had there. I need to take them off. Yeah. With the, I got that the barrel of salt pork is making 50 man days of food per day. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So that dropped us from in the 70s to 25.5 man days of food per day. So we're using 74 man days of air per day, 25.5 man days of food per day, and 79.5 man days of water per day. The water's
Yes, but
slightly up.
that's
Yeah.
sorry, but that still doesn't tell me how big a lot is. A lot
Oh,
doesn't include a lot of food.
lot
Does
is
not include water or air. So
no. A lot of food.
you're talking about how much food to buy. So I wanted to know about food.
A lot of
I don't care
food.
about the air in this particular context.
I'm trying to answer you. The lot of food is 2,400 man days of food. So I'm talking about buying 4 lots of that.
Yeah, but each 2,400 has to be divisible by 25. And that's how long that one unit lasts us. So what, 24,000 divided by, what was it, 25?
25.5.
All right, so that's 94 days for every unit.
Are you
Yeah.
taking into account the PCs in this calculation? Because
Yeah.
I'm not sure if those numbers are correct. All right, we'll figure it out.
I can double check them after the
Yeah,
show,
we can.
but I've got us down as one person each.
What line are you looking at, just out of curiosity?
Let's
I am looking at.
let's figure it out a little bit later.
I'm looking at
the exact numbers.
947.
All right.
The question is there any objection to 4 lots of food?
Will it last that long?
Considering that you have a
Well-
barrel of salt pork, it'll last longer than you might expect.
No, but I'm sorry, misunderstanding. I meant in terms of will it last that long? Will it go bad, spoiled, or whatever?
That's all preserved, dried food.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, we have clerics that can cast purified food and water.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
In that case.
the things that would affect that is not like normal time. I won't be there's no real mechanic in the game, and it's not worth really keeping track of that. The like if vermin got in, which would be essentially a random encounter type thing, that can affect it. But if you buy 2,400 lots of food, by the rules, it's essentially perpetual. I mean, at some point, I might say, no, just buy all fresh. All of the old stuff has gone bad, kind of thing. But that would be like a lengthy trip and stuff like
Years long.
yeah,
Or
well,
years.
not years long,
wouldn't-
but it would be the point where it's like a lot of things have taken place and you've gone through long journeys and stuff like that. Like if you buy all this and you get to the next sphere and you're flying all around for weeks and weeks and weeks, and especially if you haven't been keeping direct track of all the food, like you're landing on planets and leaving but not actually buying anymore. By the time you're ready to leave, I might say, okay, now just start fresh from zero, kind of thing. Everything old is gone
Solas
bad,
wouldn't
kind of
mind
thing.
if there's a few rotten eggs that happen during the trip. He can take those as spell ingredients.
You're probably not getting eggs, because eggs would need to be used pretty quick.
Yeah. What we're getting a top up for free of our normal standard supplies. And those would include fresh stuff that we would use straight away, plus preserved stuff.
Yeah.
So these extra 4 lots would all be preserved stuff. And I'm thinking Braxon would be like having to give up some of his quarters to fit this in if we don't have enough cargo space.
I'm pretty sure you have enough cargo space.
Yeah, I'm just trying
It's
to look
mainly
for
the weight more than the capacity.
No, it's the space.
Anything.
Yeah.
It's the space.
Is it?
Yeah. The weight doesn't matter.
And to be honest, this is just to get us back to where we came from. I wouldn't suggest this normally.
Well, we don't.
I mean, the big thing is that you have no idea how long this phlogiston
Yeah.
trip is, and
We-
what the next sphere you get into, how big it's going to be, and what the local situation is
Yeah.
going to be supply-wise.
Yeah, if we were to go through 2 crystal spheres where there was no way we could eat anything in either of them,
Well, if we're in a crystal sphere, we have access to spells that can
that is true.
recreate food for as
That
long
is
as
true.
we have shells.
Before we bumped into a ship and we had to give them some food that we hadn't thought about doing that. We had to give them some food. Basically, Braxton doesn't want to be in a position where if the elves are running out of food, or if we meet someone that's running out of food, that we don't have enough food to keep people alive.
Didn't we figure out that Solas's, was it Solas that got it? The water cup can replace water.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm not
it
worried
creates
about.
water.
I'm not worried about water. We're okay with
No,
water now.
it was just we hadn't put that
We're
in the
okay.
calculation. That's all.
We're okay with. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't care about the water. I'm just
Alright.
asking about food here. We're okay with the air because we got Huati now and they can make air. So we could even lend the Huati to the elves. They could go on the elven ship, fill it up with
We'll
air.
probably get their own.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we're okay with water and air. I'm just worried about running out of food. If we happen to go to a couple of places where there's literally no way to eat anything, like it's just rocks there or something. And once we get back, we will just get rid of this because we'll eat it. And we won't overstock with food anymore because we'll be in normal crystal spheres.
Okay. So, what do you guys think? Is 4 lots reasonable? Someone want to say more or less?
If we have the space, yes.
Well, I know Solas haggled me down to 3 lots last time.
I mean, 4 would double what we've got, so
We have a bit more gold at the moment, don't we,
yeah, wow.
Finn?
Yeah, we're doing fine on the company fund at the moment.
So we could
Yeah, we got-
actually, if we could get 4 lots and top it up as we go.
Okay.
And if necessary, and we run out of gold, then we have a lot of spare.
Okay. I don't think you got the merchants that you rescued left some money for you at the port as well.
That's true.
And I don't recall if you guys added that because you hadn't actually been to the port. Finn,
No,
do you
we
know
haven't gotten the reward yet.
Okay.
I guess we go to that port to buy the food with their money.
Mhm.
All right. I believe they said 5,000 gold.
Oh. Okay.
I'll pay for
Well,
some
that should
food.
pay for the food we gave to them.
Yeah, well, will it be? Well, yeah. They said they would pay what they could afford.
Okay. So you take a quick trip to the flat world the next morning to land at one of the ports and do some purchasing. You pick up the reward. And anything else that you guys want to purchase before you go? Did anyone think of anything that they wanted? It's a fairly standard port, not large, but so you're not going to get any magic or trade for spells or anything like that. But
Probably should top off our spell components though.
Yeah, it's going to be our last stop for a long while.
did you do it back on the on Aracol?
I don't remember that we did.
Wasn't
think
we
that
did
where
it
you
here.
said, where you asked us whether we did it the one before? And you said if we did it in the one before, then we don't need to do it there,
Okay.
I think.
All right. Then I will say that at this point, then yeah, go ahead and everyone do that.
We got 50 whole points worth of wood.
I don't think I used any of my component. I didn't really cast much at all
Any that
here.
expire.
I
Yeah,
don't have any that expire.
sometimes it's
Oh,
just
my.
like refreshing other things, and this also works for like other basic accoutrements like uh, incense or things that you might do for your prayers.
Okay, so that's 2 plus max spell level, which is 1 times caster level.
I am
Yes.
trying to remember where I put my
So-
calculation.
I think you're just 2 gold, Ockar.
4 gold.
This
4? All right.
Because I technically cast as a level 2 priest.
Yeah, you're up to level 2 now. That's right. Okay.
mine's 90, so
Because I gained casting at level
Yep, 90 for me as
9.
well.
Yeah.
Almost 200.
yeah.
110 here. But it's getting heavy. 10 pounds.
You are
No,
not carrying
11
it all
actually.
with you all the time. Thanks.
Oh,
That's
what
true.
There's something. Hang on. Just recalculating my money a sec.
I can have the weight. That might be more reasonable.
There's a thing that I want to get because I'm almost close to finishing my sculpture.
Mhm.
So I'm figuring sand. If I were to box this in sand for transport, it would just abrade it because it's abrasive. So would chips be better or like sawdust?
Yeah.
Sealed in a crate or something.
Yeah, that'd probably work.
Do you want to make me a fancy crate, Braxon? Since we're selling this for the company, so it's always good to have multiple people feel like they can add to this valuable item. I'm making a tree, so basically just make a box. Make it fancy.
Braxon can try making you a box. Yeah. Remember, he's a ship's carpenter, so
I know, but this is like a personal project. You just
Yeah,
do
but
it
that-
on your spare time.
Yeah, that means that you can't make like fancy furniture, but you can make a box. You can make a crate.
yeah.
And then I don't
Yeah,
know,
but I
we'll go
don't know-
with Solas to figure out if we need some unique hinges or something, because he's an engineer. He probably knows between you two
Well,
to make.
What I was getting at is I don't know if I would have to make a roll to make sure I don't make a box that squishes the thing inside it.
No. You can make a box.
Okay.
I'd be very angry if you squished my statue that I worked for like 3-4 months on.
Why
Like
don't you why don't you just sell it here?
a box is the kind
It's
of thing
not
that's like if you were a blacksmith, you wouldn't need to make a roll to see if you could make nails. I mean, it's
Okay.
It's basic. That's basic.
Some things are automatic. Yeah, no, I need 1 more week before I can sell this. Problem is, we're leaving this sphere, so
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
I need 6 days actually.
Braxon will make a box. Do you need the box this second?
No, I'm not done with the statue. I mean, just thinking if I'm long-term storage for it, I need to put it somewhere safe. It's the
Yeah.
delicate statue. It will get smashed if a ship gets catapulted to the side.
Okay.
Probably.
I mean, once it's in the crate, you can secure the crate and fill it with sawdust, wood chips, that kind of thing to protect it.
Yeah, and
That's
I
fine.
hope we don't have a whole hold result. 'Cause
Wow.
it'll be in the part of the ship where the crate is.
I'd be very, very sad.
Well, I would roll. So weight is current spell level, not current character level, Leva. So that is 5 pounds.
Okay,
Because you can cast up to 5th level spells, right?
correct.
Yeah. So 5 pounds, not 11. All right. So Braxon, I think you'd probably have enough wood around to make a crate. I don't need to charge you guys for that.
Okay.
Unless you want to make it out of fancy wood, because it's a selling crate then. Or would I have to make like an ornate box?
That's.
Can you make fancy stuff?
You would
or not?
need. No, he cannot make fancy
All right,
boxes.
we just get standard box.
This is just a crate. This is like a
Yeah.
shipping crate kind of thing.
All right, shipping crate it is.
Yeah. Maybe when Braxon levels up, he'll be able to make an attractive crate.
I thought you were.
You would need
taking
normal
healing
carpentry
proficiency
for
or
that.
something.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right.
That's what I was trying to say to Lafdul, that Braxon does ship carpentry, not pretty carpentry.
I mean,
Early
you can
unit
do
of
pretty carpentry.
learn.
It's just ship-related stuff, not a crate.
Yeah.
Not like.
Yeah.
You wouldn't make a crate look pretty. You'd want an ornate box, and that's
Yeah.
something else. All right. Anything else that anyone wants to purchase in the port before you head off into the flow?
Nothing other than like mundane stuff. I mean, today, yeah, no.
I will probably think of stuff as soon as we're gone.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. I always think of stuff after the fact.
I did say before I wanted to get to the arrow making stuff, but I haven't looked that up yet. But Braxton would have already done that.
Yeah.
I will.
You could do that. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, no, it should be fine.
All right. So you return to the crown base to meet up with the elven vessels,
Mm-hmm.
and there will be 2 elven vessels traveling with you, 2 elven man-o-war. And
Oh, I was expecting 2 armada. You know, give us the cavalry.
you got really powerful ships going along with you. So it'll be
I thought Mana were medium.
I'm sorry?
I thought Mana were like middle of the road.
They're 60-ton ships. They're big ships.
It still feels like middle of the road shit.
No, that's-
so if
that's-
you're not
that's a
using the
big
100
ship.
tons.
That's a big ship.
All right.
No, middle
it's
of
a
the
ship
road.
cap-
Middle of the road is the things like the tradesman through the dragon ship, like 25 to 45 tons.
Yeah, they wouldn't send us an armada because that's like the big ship for defending the sphere.
Yeah, those are command ships.
Yeah.
You don't even know how many they have available in this sphere. The only ones that you've seen are actually I don't. What did I say? The crown base here is made out of man-o-wars, not armadas. So you have not seen an armada here. You don't know if they have any here. All right, so the 2 elven man-o-war that will be accompanying you are the Gilt Feather, which is captained by Nevereth Silver Sky, and the Star Acorn.
Oh, hang on. Gilt feather. Someone silver sky.
Nevereth Silver Sky, yes.
Uh-huh.
And the Star Acorn.
Star Acorn. I like that name.
Captained by Shalitha Kimendreth.
Shalitha Kilendreth.
Kimendreth.
Probably.
Is this the majority? Averial.
Nope. As far as you
What's
can tell, there are
the-
no Averial on board.
Ah, I think they just bring one.
Well,
Oh, well.
this is a home of the Averials. These would be the elves that came here from somewhere else,
Yeah, I suppose.
trying to get back home.
Okay. Well, I mean, you have not actually, like you'll be
Sure.
you'll introduce yourselves to each other and stuff like that. But they won't really at this point give you like a rundown on their crew and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So given the nature of the situation, they're going to meet you at the consulate as opposed to try to go there in a group. Just because since you're
Okay.
going to a specific destination, that doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
It's more if it is absolutely crucial that everyone gets to the exact same point, that it's that they would try to actually do fleet maneuvers, which are complex. They know that
Yeah.
you're not trained for that.
Ooh. Fine talk. Sorry.
Yes,
You
it
wanna
is.
roll
It
those
is.
dice?
It is so rude to assume that you are not trained in fleet maneuvers since you have a single ship and you've only ever had one ship at a time, kind of thing.
We can practice them now.
Oh, we got the blade and the hilt, and just take the hilt out.
Well, so here's the problem: you have phlogiston navigation.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have wild space navigation.
I know. Yeah, I've got to get that. It's like, do I get wild space navigate? Well, luckily we have a magical owl on board, a space owl.
Okay.
That can...
Are you sure he's magical? He could be completely natural.
All right. So they also have a substantial amount of extra food on. From the way they describe it, it sounds like they've taken double supplies as well. And Admiral Velthiad will be accompanying the ships as well.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Oh,
the
that's
most
quite
high-ranking
the.
admiral of here.
That's like an honor guard. Well, for us to guard them, I
Well,
suppose, if anything.
is he coming with us out the sphere?
I mean, he's originally from outside the sphere. Maybe he wants to go home.
Yeah. Yeah,
retire
that's true.
Or something,
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Well,
If I
we've
had to
given it...
estimate, how many more years does it look like he's got in him? Like 100, 200?
You're not really sure. It's
Aw.
any like.
Lafdul, you should know that
Lafdul's
asking
discerning.
you should know that asking how many centuries
I'm not
elf got
asking,
left
I'm just
in
observing.
them is very rude.
You would guess that he's somewhere between 500 and 600 years old. The point that different people get called, it varies from individual to individual.
Yeah.
So whether he is close to that or not, you don't know. Okay, so once you guys get into the phlogiston, then they will work on fleet maneuvers, and the way that will work is they'll tell you that basically you will take off first, and they will line up behind you and follow. So that basically, if you drop out of spelljamming speed in the flow, they will drop out directly behind you in a line.
Yeah.
And that is because it is the easiest thing for the lead person. They don't need to make any special checks for in terms of like making sure that they are on track with the other ships, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
They just got to line up and wait for you to go in the direction, as long as you don't deviate from that line.
Well, and when you're moving at spelljamming speed, that is straight line. You cannot actually turn. If you turn and you're dropping out and turning.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot easier then.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're going to make a
off
navigation...
by 1 degree.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like off by 0.01 degree, and you will zip right by someone if they drop out of spelljamming speed. So
yeah,
it does not take much.
So I guess we would agree on which star we're going for in the constellate or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you basically just get to the blood star. Like that's the significant star there.
Yeah.
All right, so you are ready to head on towards the sphere wall.
Okay.
So it is 4 days per block.
Oh yeah. We're moving. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Did I have a chance to talk to Red Njord?
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. You would have, yes.
Let's do that then.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
It's fine.
All right, so you would you'd be taken to his cell that evening. This is before you go to the flat world and everything. And he would just kind of like look at you and gruffly say, "What do you want, Ockar?"
I just want to say one last thing, and then I will leave you to whatever fate you decide for yourself. I would just like to ask that you try to ask for some kind of mercy from the court. if not for me, if not for the sake of honor, then just for yourself, so that you can get a chance to go out in a way that isn't through execution, for your own soul and for where you end up. I'd rather you not have your soul go off to hell, and I think you would rather not suffer that indignity as well. I think you'd rather go on off to Valhalla like a warrior would.
I don't believe in the honor that you proclaim, Ockar. It was never my thing anyway. Honor this, honor that. What good is it? Can't buy food with it. The afterlife? I don't know what happens then. I don't care. I chose Loki because he didn't care. He doesn't care about any of that crap that you and Father in particular preach all the time. Honor this, honor that. I don't. Valhalla, it means nothing to me.
Is that how you genuinely feel?
It is.
Well then, I'd at least like this is your if you believe that you would rather go out like this and go to hell, then that is your choice. I will not begrudge you for it. I just wish that you would at least attempt the alternative. Because I think you'd rather die on your own terms than to let the court send you to your own to an execution. Isn't that what you've always wanted, to do things by your own terms?
Yes, but this world has never let me do that. You have always interfered with that, trying to put your own views on mine. Well, this is what it's come to. Clearly, this world, this universe doesn't want that for me. Doesn't want me to live on my own terms. If it did,
Well,
you wouldn't have been always around interfering.
I'm going to be leaving, and what you do from now is your own business. If you decide to ask for mercy and they grant it to you and you get a chance to live your life, I won't be coming back to find you again. I swear upon that.
That I will take some comfort in. Maybe cousins, but I never did like you, Ockar.
I never did like you either, but I did not want this for you or anything or anything truly bad to happen to you.
Well, what's done is done. If the gods are what you and Father say they are, then they have spoken. Maybe I will be back one day in a new form, a new life. I don't know. Maybe things will be different.
And if they are, I hope that you will be able to find a place for yourself that doesn't that you can actually do good in, whatever you decide that to be.
And for what it's worth, I hope you get what you want out of life.
Thank you. And I will tell your father that you died the way that you wish to die.
I don't know that it'll be much comfort to him. I think he always wanted me to die the way that he wanted me to die.
Yes, but I'll at least let him know that you went the way you wished. And that he should take comfort in the fact that you had decided things for yourself at the end.
I appreciate that for what it is worth.
I wish you luck, and I hope things go better for you than either of us expect. But that is all I can wish for.
Indeed. Isn't it all that any of us can wish for?
I did nod and say, I hope that your faith in Loki is not misplaced, even with his predictions as a trickster. And then I will leave.
He nods as you leave, but does not say a goodbye.
Well, I didn't say goodbye either,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
All right. I mean, you gave him some things to think about. That's for sure. Maybe one day you'll hear if he decided to take you up on that offer. To throw himself on the mercy of the court to try to get out of that.
Would you have kept that to yourself?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have told anybody what we talked about. That's a private thing between us as family. I probably would have even requested that the Elven Guard leave.
They would have been far enough away that like they could see you if you like tried to slip him something, but they would not have, But if you were speaking, like quietly, not whispering, but just quietly, then they wouldn't have been able to hear.
Yeah, I was speaking quietly. I was making sure that this was just between the two of us.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're doing what you're doing, but Lafdul also worships a deity of reinvention.
Oh, right. Before
Reinventing myself.
Before I left,
yourself.
I would have at least asked if there was anything he wanted me to tell his father.
He would say, no, everything that I needed to say, I said to him before I left.
Okay. And there's nothing he wants me to tell anybody else back home?
Nope.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
All right. Actually, did he have any? I don't remember. I'd have to go look at the document. Did he have a living mother or siblings?
He had a living mother. I'm not sure if I listed, but he does have one. I think they were close.
Okay. And was his sister the one in the guard as Lafdul?
My sister.
That's your sister. Okay.
Oh, your sister. Sorry.
Right. Does he have have any siblings?
I will check. Because let's see. Yeah, he has Gunvalsar. Yes, he has a daughter that's a city guard.
Okay.
And yeah, he has a sister that's in the guard.
Okay. So he would just tell you to give his mother and his sister his best.
I will. And you're right. Ockar's sister Sigrid is a maid.
Okay.
Who's part of the Mages Guild at Brawl.
All right.
I got the two confused.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So with that, you guys would then, after that, then go buy the supplies, get your 5,000 gold reward, and be prepared to set out. It is about time for us to take a short break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes as the party heads to the Sphere Wall to get this next Phlogiston trip underway. players, might be a good time to start thinking about what you got, what your characters want to do for the trip.
We moved 4 days, didn't we?
4 days.
We were about to move.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that happened.
No,
that was all.
that has not
we-
happened yet.
Alright,
that
yeah,
has not
that's
happened.
fine.
Yeah.
We
haven't
were
moved
about
yet.
to, but then
Because obviously I'm keeping track of. I need 6 more days to calculate.
Right.
So
but yeah, so think about what you want to do for the Wild Space trip and then the Phlogiston trip, which you don't know how long it's going to be. So keep that in mind. Could be quick, it could be long. Who knows? And we will take a short break and be back in about 10 minutes. So good time for viewers to stretch their legs, get something to drink, and we will be right back.
We'll see you then.
See you soon.